2009 is your claim that you had a falling out, that she refuses to pay you back the money. In addition, she vandalized, according to you, your house, broke your door. Ms. Martin says that there was never any discussion of repayment of any of the money that you gave her. You were friends, you were helping her out. And with regard to vandalizing your door, she said that didn't happen, and she's counterclaiming because she said you had her falsely arrested for vandalism. She wants to be compensated for her bail. How long have you been friends, Ms. Summers?
Since 2004.
Now, you gave her money in September of 2008. You want to tell me what you gave her the money for?
She had recently became unemployed and was falling behind in some bills, and she asked me if I could give her the loan to catch up on her bills.
How much did you give her at that time?
$350.
And did she pay you back any part of the $350?
No, Your Honor.
When was she supposed to pay you back the $350?
Well, she was in the process of looking for a job. So the agreement was to pay me back within 30 days, or she would pay me back when she got her income tax.
And when was the next sum of money that you advanced to her?
That would have been January 22nd of 2009. She had called me that morning about 6:30, upset that her car had been repossessed, and she originally asked me if I had $1,300. I told her I didn't have that much, that I was on my way to class, and I would call her when I got out of class and let her know what I could afford to let her borrow. When I got out of class, her and her daughter's father met me at my house. I told her I could give her $500. Gave her the $500, and then she asked me if I could take her to the location to actually pick up the car, which is about 45 minutes from where we live. I took her up there. When she got there, she still didn't have enough, so she asked me if I had anything else. I had like $55 more in cash on me. I gave her the $55, and the agreement was that she would pay me by filing her taxes that day and get a rapid refund where they give you $1,000 up front. She was going to at least pay me back the $550 that she borrowed that day, at least,
okay,
and then the remainder when she got the rest of her refund.
And
then she called me later that night and told me that she didn't file it rapid, that it was costing too much, and that she filed it for a 14-day return, which I was a little upset, but since in the past she was the type of person to pay back, we had done this before.
Well, she hadn't paid you back the $350.
Well, that was in with the tax return, because she told me she was getting back like $4,200 or something, so I'm thinking I'm good. She would pay me back my little money.
Where did you get the money from? Student
loan. I had got my student loan January the 15th, and she was aware of that.
What year are you in college?
Second.
How long have you been in college?
Since 2007.
How many credits do you have?
At this point, I think 12. I'm not sure. No, 16.
Do you work?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work do you do?
I sit with the elderly, go to their home and help them with their daily activities.
Is that how you support yourself?
Yes.
So you go to school in addition to that?
Yes.
Well, at this rate, it's going to take you 10 years to finish with school.
Yes.
This is very good America. Now, something happened, Ms. Summers, that caused a sort of altercation that resulted in Ms. Martin being arrested for vandalism. You want to tell me what happened?
Yes, Your Honor. On the day that I gave Ms. Martin the loan, we had went out that night to a bar, and she had wanted to introduce me to her daughter's father's friend. And I had told her I wasn't really interested, but I was cordial about it, and went along and met him. And on the 25th, which was Sunday night, Miss Martin had called me and told me of a rumor that the guy she introduced me to had said. So then I told her, I'll talk to him. And so then he calls me back like an hour later, and, I tell him how I feel about the rumor. And so then I didn't talk to Miss Martin no more until Monday morning. She had called me or texted me or something that she was off about how I handled it or whatnot. And so that's when she called me up on the phone, cussing and ranting and raving, and was on my street, is what she said. And by the time I got off the phone with her, less than a minute later, I hear a bang at the door. So my son comes around, which he's here to testify. He's seen it. We come around down the hallway. By the time we get down the hallway, she's actually came through the bar door. The glass, she's standing there holding that. She's in the foyer part of my door.
It's not true.
Through the bar door and the door. And at that time, I called the police, and she took off.
Was the door broken?
The glass came out. It didn't shatter, but both top and bottom glass, the frame.
So all you have to do is snap it back in.
Well, it can't be snapped back in. I tried to see if it could just be, the little hinges could be snapped back in, but I went to several different places. And
okay, and how much is the door?
I have an estimate for $382.
Okay, let's talk about September of 2008, $350.
She was giving me money.
Okay.
She was using her financial aid money, just was going to the clubs on it and everything. So
I'm not talking about going to clubs on it. I'm talking about $350 that she says she gave you when you had fallen behind on some of your bills.
I don't recall $350.
Okay, good. She does recall it, so that's what you owe her. If you don't recall it, and she does recall it, then I have to go with her memory. Let's go to the $555 for your car.
She gave me $555. My car got repoed. There was no talk of repayment. I was unemployed.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. Did you file your tax returns this year?
I did.
Yep. File your tax returns. You filed it by yourself, or you had the assistance of a tax provider?
Preparation, yes.
And you were advised that you were going to get a refund?
Right.
How much?
$42.
$42?
$100.
Okay, so that's $905 that you owe her. Now let's go to the door. You went over to her house and you were angry. Why were you angry? Why were you angry?
I was angry for so many, over 50 text messages and calls. I went to her house to speak to her as a woman.
About what?
Just, I want my pots, I want my pan, my battery, I want the money, I want everything back. She became angry and wanted everything back that she gave throughout the friendship.
Okay, fine. So you went over there and you were angry.
I was...
Just a second. You went over there and you were angry.
Not so much angry.
You went over there and you were angry. That's what you just told me about all the text messages. Is that right?
I went over there to speak with her.
You went over there to speak with her angry. And it is true, according to you, that the panes of glass fell out of the door. Is that right?
It's plexiglass.
Whether it's plexiglass or not, put your hand down. I don't need you. It fell out.
It did fall out.
Very good. And that's when she called the police.
She called the police when it fell out. I grabbed it.
And she had you arrested for vandalism.
Yes.
Or for trespass or whatever else.
vandalism.
And you had to pay to get out of jail.
Yes.
That's what happens when you go to someplace angry.
But it was not vandalism.
That's why the case was dismissed.
Yes, it was not vandalism.
That's why the case was dismissed. It actually was. There was no damage. And probably the court didn't want to be bothered with the nonsense, but she had every right to call the police. You were acting in an irrational manner. She had every right to call the police. Your counterclaim's dismissed. You owe her $1,287. Judgment for the plaintiff. Thank you very much.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I think it was unfair, but I'm glad it's over.
Oh, ecstatic. Get my money.
Well, it was a rumor that surfaced about her boyfriend.
Yeah, it was a rumor, and that was the whole point. I straightened the rumor.
She flew from 0 to 60 instantly.
That's some bull. But you know what? It ain't gonna happen no more. I bet you that.